Hey everybody, this is Apex Investor. Just checking in regarding MetaMaterials. Our daily update. Well, I'm not really doing daily updates anymore, but I'm doing an update because today was significant. On the surface, it doesn't look like a good result because the stock went down to $6.95. However, I picked up, like I said, I put in a buy order for when it dropped. I averaged down, so I'm happy about that. I averaged down. I got some stock below $8. It's really fine stock here, and the volume was about 20 million, so above the average. So we're starting to see that this stock is reaching a sort of normalcy in terms of volume. Actually, this is kind of low volume, to be honest. Uh, One of the biggest uh, updates for today is that MMATF, which is the off the counter, over the counter, or it was trading over the counter, finally was pretty much disabled. So you can't buy or sell that one anymore. Essentially, what they're doing is, as part of the transition of this merger, this business merger between Torchlight and MMAT, all the over the counter or off the market uh, stocks or shares that were traded uh, off the market will now be converted over to the Nasdaq essentially. So we have a number of shares over there. I think it's well, it doesn't say the exact number, but it's in the millions. And the closing price, this is from yesterday, was $13.65. Now, again, you look at the seven. Actually, it's more than that. It's more than 708. I have to reload, but it is $7. So about half of what it was going for, which shows you that, again, this is being manipulated pretty drastically. I'm going to just take a look at the after hours. Okay, so it did close at 697, so just under $7 on the after hours. So this bodes very well for shareholders who are long on the stock. Obviously, those who are long on the stock. Um, so again, I wanted to also talk about how I mentioned yesterday that the stock, and if you give it 6 months, most likely will go to $20. If you give it a year, be even higher, maybe 20, 40, over 20. And then when you look at even in a longer term, 5 years, 10 years, could go to triple digits. But I wanted to talk about this because I thought about that a little bit longer, and I realized that not everybody has the luxury of time to just, hold on to the stock for even a year, maybe even 5 years. That's kind of a very long time to just hold on to one stock. So I understand that. So those who would like to trade this, in less than a year or less than 6 months, it's difficult for me to say, when is the right time to sell. But I'm going to give you an answer because I'm not Nostradamus. You can't predict when or how it's going to happen. I can just give you a number, and probably the most realistic number we're looking at MMAT is just looking at last week. Okay, so this stock, when it was known as Torchlight, went up to $22 per share. When you take into account, actually $11, when you take into account the reverse split, that's $22. So I think it's safe to just set your buy, or I should say sell order, for $22. You can just set it for 22, maybe a little more if you want 23, but it's probably safe for $22 if you want to sell that. Um, but it might be your loss because this could go even to 40 and greater because of the reverse split. 40 is now not just in play, it's very, very realistic. It's a very realistic scenario uh, in the next year, in the next 6 months. This will go to 20 pretty easily. Um, Probably a lot less in a lot less time than 6 months. So one more thing I want to touch on before I close the video. So again, the stock MMAT did drop about was that 12% if you round that out, 12% today. So just as I said yesterday, this is a fire sale, getting it below uh, $8, and today even dropped below seven. So it's just a sale upon more, you know, a discount upon another discount. So it's just being very much it's on a great discount. I don't know how else to say it. It's a fire sale. It's a great deal. So if you want to make a lot of money, get this stock at below $7. I mean, even below $8 was a great price. Below $10 is actually a great price as well. That's where I got it when I bought the majority of my shares at $5, which is essentially $10. So what else I wanted to say? I wanted to also talk about MetaMaterial on their website. I made a big mistake regarding the stock. I didn't do my full due diligence, and I still have a lot of reading to do when it comes to this company. Their website is very well done. Um, a lot of times, people they get a first impression from a company or from whatever organization it is that is represented on the internet. From their website, you can get an idea just how serious to take them, and in terms of defining their mission statement and communicating what they do in an effective way, efficiently, and to get people to buy into their vision. I think that's what I mean. There's many reasons that people will look at your website, and they can just you're making a first impression. So um, I'm looking at their main website. It's metamaterial.com. And there's a statement here that is very forward looking, not just forward looking, but it is a telling sign of what bodes for the future, what is going to happen with the stock. And if you scroll down, I mean, just the introduction little video there is quite impressive. It does give a vibe of, kind of Tesla, Apple sort of vibe, that these people are here to stay. This company is here to stay. They have and they're very much a visionary company, trendsetter, groundbreaking. So I'm scrolling down here. I'm reading about aerospace and defense, as I was talking about the other day, with the seven biggest companies in terms of military and defense in America, and also Germany. Airbus is German. Automotive, again, with Tesla. The EV market is one of the biggest sectors for a lot of growth potential. We could see, billions upon billions of dollars, and we already are seeing that. But I mean, even greater growth than what we see currently. Consumer electronics. So they're actually, I didn't even know they're in that business to help manufacture uh, parts for smartphones. So that is, I didn't even know about that. So that just increases the stock even greater. Energy sector regarding clean energy such as solar and potentially other energy sources. Medical, we talked about that. Uh, they're pioneering wireless devices in terms of medical diagnostic and monitoring equipment. And then there's a statement here from the chief executive of Lockheed Martin, Canada, Charles Bouchard. He says here, "We are pleased to see our ITB investment going to a great Canadian global innovator such as MetaMaterial Technologies Incorporated. Their work in the field of smart materials and in developing a disruptive solar application suitable for flight is an example of what Canadian technology offers the world. Now, this gives me some vibes. I'm just going to use the word vibes of Canadian innovation. A lot of people are they're not aware of the significant contributions Canadians have had to uh, advancing technology, specifically when it comes to aerospace, aviation. I think the first aircraft to reach a Mach speed coming from Canada, and there's a second statement here if this will work. This is from the Chief Innovation Officer from Airbus, again, one of the world's largest uh, aerospace and defense companies in the planet, from based in Germany. Here's the statement. At Airbus, we are always on the lookout for new ideas coming from innovative SMEs such as MTI. We are very pleased to explore together the potential application of the solution to our aircraft for the benefit of our customers. And I think MTI is talking about MetaMaterials. It's probably a different acronym for them. And they have multiple press releases, update to shareholders on exchange process and timing. So let's read that. Maybe it'll give us more information about dividend. And I think once that is completely processed, because it seems like the dividend is something people are really anchoring their hopes and dreams on, which you're really not looking at the full pitch if you're just looking at the dividend, what you can make from the dividend. That's a quick, I'll give you $100 million, but first I'm just going to give you a small payment of $1,000. So why would you just get the $1,000 bonus and not stay for the 100 million that's coming up? Doesn't make sense to me. That's not really forward thinking. um, so I'm going to read this press release and then I'll close the video. I'll look at the comments as well. So it says here, Meta Materials provides update to shareholders on exchange process and timing. So here's the update. Just going to read the highlights of it. So this is regarding the finalization of distribution of the Series A preferred share dividend. So the dividend and the MetaMaterials shares to be distributed to former holders of MetaMaterials common shares that were traded on the CSE prior to closing, which was effective again yesterday. So the Series A preferred share dividend was distributed by Torchlight's transfer agent on June 25th to shareholders of record on June 24th, 2021. The Depository Trust Company, DTC, informed Meta that formal allocation of the shares to individual accounts should occur on Wednesday, June 30th. Okay, so that's the big date. That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow is going to be a bloodbath, potentially, pending the receipt of certain documentation by the DTC. So that is also pending. That has to be done as well. Once the allocation is completed, holders of the Series A preferred shares should be able to determine appropriate allocations in their individual accounts. So it will show up. Just give it some time. Be patient, people. This is not a sinking ship. This is a rocket ship about to launch to Mars. It's going places that we've never been to, places we never dreamed, places that, it's like where no man has gone before. Metamaterial is really very much like a sci-fi company, and they're making dreams come true. That's what's going to happen here. Former holders of the metamaterial common shares, so the MMATF, are entitled to receive 1.845 meta shares. Wow. Okay, so that means the price. Wait a minute. If the price was $13 and they're now getting more shares, wouldn't the price? Yeah, actually, the price would go down a little bit, I think. would be about half. So it would be around $7, six to $7. So yeah, okay. Well, you know what? What I was saying was probably theoretical anyway. This consideration is payable either directly in meta shares or exchangeable shares of a wholly owned subsidiary. So the form of consideration. So they're going to consolidate the shares essentially, and we'll see what the price ends up as. It's hard for me to say. I'm kind of just estimating, but because the price was $11 for Torchlight last week, that means the actual price is closer to 22 or 20 to 22. And that's without any big news catalysts. It's just them merging. And again, we're being shorted pretty significantly. Okay, so they're saying to complete the share exchanges, there is a process. So there's reconciliations that have to be done. There's just a process that has to be done. It has to be done by the book, the DTC, CDS. There's just a lot of hands that these shares have to go through, that the dividend has to go through. And it says here they want to ensure that the exchange of the old MMATF shares is accurate and the shares are being provided to the proper owners. These reconciliations require a bit of time to complete. So it will take, June 30, yeah, is a big day, but we still have to give it more time. It could take another week, could take another 2 weeks. But if you just hang in there and you're being patient, you'll be rewarded. In my opinion, it shouldn't take more than 40 days from the merger date. So by this time in by August, we'll see something, and we'll be looking back at the stock saying, "You remember it was below $7? It was 6.95 at one point." And you're going, "Yeah, well, those days are gone." 6.95 is a dream, like when AMC was at that same level, $6, and now it's at 60. So metamaterial could be going the same direction, going to 60. And I would venture to say it would probably take 5 years. I don't know, maybe less. I'm just being conservative. I think 5 years is very conservative. For it to go to 60, it's probably going to be less than 2 years. But you know what? That's just all guesswork. So AST informed them, that's the Canadian trust company, they required the required reconciliations cannot be completed. Oh, here's some more dates. It cannot be completed until on or about Friday, July the 2nd, due to administrative procedures. So this is all on their website. So June 30 is going to be a big day. July 2nd might be another big day as well. And given Canada Day is July 1st, there's going to be a little bit of a delay there as well. Um, for those registered shareholders that have not submitted a letter of transmittal, okay, so it's just some kind of processing legalese. So the dates to look forward to are tomorrow, the 30th, and July the 2nd. But let's not make the assumption that the squeeze or a potential squeeze has to happen tomorrow or has to happen on July the 2nd. That's just not true. What could happen? We could see another short attack tomorrow, ladder shorting. We could see the same thing happen on July the 2nd. But those dates are significant because those are the projected dates. Doesn't mean it's going to happen exactly as they're planning it out, but you cannot assume that it won't happen either. It's much better to just be patient and give it at least a week from the second. Personally, I'd say 2 weeks, preferably even a month. So by this time, August 2nd, I think a lot of the dust will have cleared and we'll have a better idea of how much this is worth a month from now, August 2nd, like I said. If you give it, the longer time you give it, the better. This is a company that is unlike other companies, unlike most companies that have already established, their business and have built the trust with the shareholders, that have built the reputation. They're still building a reputation. That's important. Uh, Not a lot of people trusted Apple before Steve Jobs returned. Not a lot of people trusted in Apple before the iMac. I mean, let's forget the iPhone. I mean, yeah, before the iPhone, but let's look at the way they built their trust. It was iMac. I believe it was the iPod after, and then many iterations of the iPod. Then you had the iPhone, and then from there they just never looked back. I'm not going to talk about the iWatch. I don't think the watch is really a crazy, revolutionary device. It's just an add-on to the iPhone, essentially. And next, we're looking at the potential for Apple to break into the automobile sector. So that is going to be very big. Might be a good idea to get into Apple before that is released. But the point is MetaMaterials is building up their reputation, and they're still in the development stage, in my opinion, as to releasing their products and proving that these products are not only working and do what they say, but in terms of quality, in terms of their relationships with other companies such as Tesla, and as I just read, Lockheed Martin, Airbus. This isn't just me talking out of my butt. I mean, I was kind of doing that yesterday and just saying, "Hey, isn't that incredible, all the potential with working with these companies?" But they're actually in a working relationship with them. There's some relationship going on there. I mean, all they need is a little quote from Elon Musk saying, the potential for the Tesla to grow with metamaterials is exponential. I don't know. You could just put something like that, but that it's not on their website. So I mean, that's probably the only one that's missing there. So it is all about building your reputation. It's about proving to not just your shareholders or not just proving to other businesses that you're viable, but you're proving to the world that metamaterials is something that is needed, that it is very much needed. It's not like a pipe dream or something that is nebulous, something that is just, science fiction. This is real. This could revolutionize the planet, actually. When I think about, you know, industrial uh, businesses, when you look at, retail, when you look at technology, when you look at science, when you look at, I think when you just look at the market, the economy, the world's economy on a macro scale, metamaterials is going to be a big player in almost every facet of the world in terms of military, aerospace, defense, automobile, and then you even talked about chips, making chips and other things that will be useful for smartphones. 5G antennas, stealth technology. I mean, it's just and even healthcare. I mean, this is a company that isn't limited to just one uh, market. If metamaterials was only working, in biotech, for example, let's just say they're making hearing aids, for example, that's still a good company. It will be in demand, but their growth potential is limited as much as the hearing aid industry is, or maybe the biotech industry is, because they can only serve the needs of those who require their medical services or the medical technologies, their medical products. But because they have diversified automobile, EV market, that alone opens up the floodgates, just that alone. And then you're telling me this company is going to work with the biggest companies in America on the Fortune 200, namely Lockheed Martin, Boeing, uh, Grumman. I forgot the rest of it, but anyway, Grumman. Basically, the Tony Starks of the world. I don't even know that's a floodgate anymore. It's like a planet. You're just dropping like Thanos dropping that moon onto Tony Stark there. That is massive. I don't have the words. This is going to be something that I almost have no doubt now this will go to triple digits, $200 a share. Again, it's going to take time. They have to prove themselves. So this is the update for today. Now we know that tomorrow uh, will be an important date in terms of, as they said here, the allocation of the shares regarding the ATF, the MMATF shares will be completely processed. It's going to take time. It may not be completed tomorrow, but tomorrow, that's the target date. And then July the 2nd is another date that they they name here, that the share transfers cannot be completed until or about Friday, July the 2nd. So uh, that's this week. So by the end of the week, we could see a very different picture in terms of this stock. Okay. So I have a lot of homework to do. I need to read up on this company. I did do some research, but not extensive research to the point that I know the ins and outs of every little thing they're doing, which I recommend everyone does. Um, I mean, at the very least, I watched videos from Alpha Stock Strategies, which, funnily enough, their acronym is ASS. So I don't know how that worked out, but I don't know if that was intentional. But anyway, um, whereas mine is AI, which is kind of cool when you think about that. Artificial intelligence, right? AI and Apex Investor. So that's all. I'm just going to. Hey, Matt, what's up? So that's all for today. I see no questions, so I will end the stream here. And I'm very excited for what is about to happen tomorrow. Again, this stock, I didn't see it going below $6, and so it didn't go below that. I was saying the other day, if this finishes below seven, it's cause for concern. However, I take that back. I don't think that's really cause for concern. If this drops below four, yeah, it's cause for concern because at the lowest, this was trading between $2 to $4 way before the merger, months before. And so the fact that it is above that level, namely above just hovering around $7, so that's about 350 per share. So no, it is above 350. So it's above $3. So that bodes very well for the future for this company. So that's all I have for this video. Just wanted to do a quick update. Actually, it wasn't really quick. These updates are never really quick. You plan on doing a quick update, and then you're led into all these different aspects that I wasn't originally planning on looking into. So now that I did, I'm much more uh, confident into what this business is doing and more knowledgeable as to what they're doing as well. So, I wish I could share my screen with you, but essentially it is from metamaterial.com. You go there, everything's there. This isn't just a pipe dream. It's not some kind of nebulous thing where they're just making things up. Uh, this looks to be a company that is on the rise. Could be as big as Apple, could be bigger. I don't know. This could be the next big thing. We have companies, we know about companies like, Apple was a darling or is a darling of the stock market. Tesla, the same thing. Meta, Material, MMAT could be the next one. It very well could be. It's a bold statement to make, but that's the potential for the stock. So I couldn't see that before. I couldn't see that last month because I didn't do my research. I did not know that much about this company. It was Trey from Trey's Trades who brought this up when he presented Torchlight, and I looked into it a little bit, and I was intrigued by this metamaterials uh, thing, and I just didn't know too much about it. It just sounded like something from a science fiction movie, and I did not really do my research to prove, is this going to be something big in the future? And now, that I've done a little more research, I can see, yeah, it does have a lot of potential. So, yeah, that's all for today. I'm going to stop the stream. There's nothing else to say. So I'll just say thank you for your support and um, hope to see you the next update, probably tomorrow. Tomorrow after hours. Okay. Apex Investor signing out. Good luck to all, and God bless your investments. You and your investments, not just your investments. Okay.